When you don't respond, he creates 1,000 questions. The silence you leave echoing is filled with doubts, insecurities, and fears. Each message not sent transforms into a riddle he tries to decipher. You might think you're just busy or need some time, but his mind doesn't stop. He wonders if something is wrong, if you still care, if there is someone else in your life. This communication void causes anguish. He feels at the mercy of his uncertainties, struggling to understand what has not been said. The lack of a response can make him question his own worth, create pessimistic scenarios, and believe he is losing you. Silence is not just a pause, it is a space where speculations grow uncontrollably. At the same time, you might feel that you need this space to process your feelings, but it's important to recognize that this absence can be interpreted painfully. Every day without a response is a day of emotional agony for him, a day when trust can be undermined. He might start to think he is not worthy of your attention, that his feelings don't matter. It's time to reflect on the impact this distance has on both of you. What do you really want? How is your absence shaping his perception of the relationship? What should be a constructive pause can become a storm of uncertainties. If silence is necessary, perhaps a warning or a brief explanation could help. A simple message can prevent him from creating scenarios that don't exist. You're not alone in this dilemma. Many people face this difficulty in communicating, fearing that their words won't be enough or that they will cause more pain. But the truth is that the lack of communication can be more harmful than the conversation itself. It is essential to find a way to express what you feel, whether to clarify or simply to say that you need time. If you have made it this far, that is a sign that honesty is the key to both of your emotional health. Do not ignore the power your words have, even if they are brief. You deserve a relationship where clarity prevails, and he deserves to know that his concerns are valid. You deserve to live a full life without the ghosts of doubt hovering over you. It is time to decide. What do you want for the future? If this message made sense to you, consider sharing your truths with him. Silence can be a form of protection, but it can also become a weapon of destruction in relationships. When you withdraw, even for a legitimate reason, the interpretation he makes of that absence can distort reality. What should be a moment of reflection can be experienced as a punishment. Every second that passes without a word from you is like a drop of water, accumulating and creating an overflow of confused emotions. You may feel that you need time for yourself, to organize your thoughts and understand what you really want. This is a valid need, but it is important to communicate it. A simple message like, "I need some time to think, but don't worry, I'm here," can offer immediate relief. This small action can prevent the creation of stories that don't exist, reducing the anxiety he feels. The lack of clarity can generate insecurity and distrust. He may start questioning whether you still love him, if you still consider him important. These feelings can lead to defensive or reactive behaviors, which can further strain the relationship. It is essential to remember that communication is not just about conveying a message, it's also about building a solid and healthy connection. Without this connection, the relationship can turn into a minefield of misunderstandings. He may become cautious, avoiding discussing his feelings for fear of losing you even more. This creates a vicious cycle. You don't respond, he withdraws, and the emotional distance deepens. It's a pattern that can be difficult to break, but it's not impossible. When he tries to get closer and you pull away, the feeling of rejection can intensify. His vulnerability becomes even more evident, and he may feel powerless to change the situation. This is where empathy becomes essential. By understanding how he feels, you can find the courage to express your needs without fear of hurting him. It's understandable that you may want to avoid conflicts or difficult discussions. However, this avoidance can cause more harm than an honest dialogue. Talking about your emotions, even if difficult, can be liberating. It can reveal not only your insecurities but also his, creating a space for mutual understanding. If you are feeling overwhelmed, consider talking about it. "I'm going through a complicated moment and need time to organize myself, but I don't want you to think this is about us." This approach can reaffirm your affection and consideration while establishing boundaries for your need for space. Prolonged silence can lead to growing distrust. He might wonder if there's something or someone else in your life. These assumptions can turn into jealousy, which in turn can erode the trust that has been built. To prevent this from happening, continuous communication is vital. A simple "I'm here but I need some time" can work wonders to calm the emotional storm he may be facing. If communication is not a strength in your relationship, it is time to work on it. Establishing an open dialogue channel is fundamental. You can start by creating a safe space to discuss feelings and concerns, where both of you feel heard and respected. This will not only strengthen the bond between you, but also allow each person to express their true emotions without fear of retaliation. It is also important to consider that your absence might not be the only source of insecurity. He might have his own traumas and fears that influence how he handles communication. By opening up about your own insecurities, you can encourage him to do the same. This reciprocity can enrich the relationship, fostering an environment of mutual understanding and support. However, don't forget that you also need to take care of yourself. If silence is what you truly need, do not hesitate to give yourself that time. The important thing is to do so consciously, communicating your intentions so that he does not feel lost in a sea of uncertainties. Balancing your needs with his is an act of emotional maturity that can benefit both of you. Sometimes the best way to move forward is to set a time frame. Informing him that you need a few days to process your emotions can help set expectations. This clarity allows him to know that you are not simply ignoring him, but rather dealing with your own issues. A healthy relationship is based on respect, and that includes respecting the time and space each person needs. Silence has its place, but it should not be a permanent state. There needs to be a return to communication, even if it means facing difficult conversations. You may not have all the answers, but by sharing your process, you are building a bridge between you two. This bridge can be the foundation for a stronger and more resilient relationship. Ultimately, true transformation occurs when both of you commit to honesty and vulnerability. By opening up about your emotions while also embracing his feelings, you can create a space of love and understanding. It's time to decide what you really want. If your desire is to cultivate a healthy and meaningful relationship, communication must be a priority. You deserve it. He deserves it. The future of both of you depends on the decisions you make now. Communication is the foundation of any healthy relationship. When you feel overwhelmed and choose silence, it's easy to forget that the other person is struggling to understand your motivations. His internal struggle can lead to a series of misunderstandings that aren't present when there is open dialogue. The first step to breaking this cycle is recognizing the importance of being transparent, even when it seems difficult. When you choose not to respond, he may start to question what is really going on. Each doubt that arises can create a wall between you, further distancing the connection that once existed. It is crucial to understand that the absence of communication is not just an empty space. It is a space that allows insecurities to grow and become monsters that invade his mind. If you feel that you need time for yourself, consider sharing that clearly. A simple message saying that you are going through a difficult moment and need some time to process can alleviate the tension. This honesty not only shows that you care, but also that you are willing to be vulnerable. This vulnerability can open doors to a deeper dialogue. It is natural to want to avoid conflicts, but lack of communication can cause more pain than an honest conversation. You might start to interpret your silence as a sign of disinterest, leading to defensive and reactive behaviors. Insecurity can generate reactions that don't reflect the reality of what you both are experiencing. Therefore, it is essential that both of you feel safe to express your feelings, even if it means addressing delicate topics. A healthy relationship requires both partners to be willing to listen to each other. If you notice that silence has become a constant, it is time to reflect on what that means. What is this absence of communication doing to your bond? Lack of dialogue can create a toxic environment where distrust and doubt install themselves. To avoid this, try to establish a safe space for conversations. This space can be created by expressing your needs in a kind yet firm manner. Make it clear that you value the relationship, but also need time for yourself. This allows him to understand that your absence is not a reflection of a lack of love, but a temporary need. Communication, even if minimal, can give him the assurance that you are still present, even if only in spirit. When he feels that you are willing to open up, it can motivate him to do the same. Reciprocity in communication is vital. If he perceives that you are willing to share your insecurities, it may encourage him to reveal his own. This dialogue can help clarify misunderstandings and strengthen the emotional connection between you. It is also important for you to reflect on your own emotions. What is behind your desire for silence? Is it a need for space, or is there something deeper that needs to be addressed? By understanding your own motivations, you can communicate more effectively. This clarity might be the key to preventing him from creating pessimistic scenarios in his mind. Furthermore, communication should be continuous. Do not treat each conversation as an isolated event. Establish a dialogue pattern where both can regularly talk about how they feel. This can prevent the buildup of unexpressed emotions and reduce the anxiety that comes with uncertainty. Investing time in regular conversations, even if brief, can make a significant difference in how you relate to each other. Another point to consider is the impact your words and actions have on each other. You must be aware that every message, every pause, carries emotional weight. He might be wondering if you are still investing in the relationship, and this can lead to a series of insecurities. Therefore, strive to be intentional with your words. Clear and honest communication can eliminate many of the assumptions that may arise. Sometimes it is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the other person should know how you feel without you having to say it. However, this expectation can be harmful. People are not mind readers, and everyone has their own experiences that influence how they interpret signals. Therefore, instead of letting him fill the gaps with doubts, offer information that helps him understand what is really happening. Additionally, don't be afraid to be honest about your limitations. If you are going through a delicate moment, acknowledge it and share it. This transparency not only strengthens trust but also demonstrates that you care. By doing so, you give him the opportunity to be understanding and supportive, which can further strengthen the relationship. Finally, remember that the goal is to build a healthy relationship where both feel secure and valued. Silence may be necessary at times, but it should not be a permanent state. By committing to communication, you are taking a step toward building a stronger and more resilient bond. If the relationship is valuable to you, taking action to maintain communication is essential. After a period of reflection, resume the dialogue with clarity and intention. This will not only help heal wounds, but also create a space where both can grow and support each other. Your future depends on the decisions you make now, and communication is the bridge that can lead to a healthier and more meaningful relationship. When you decide to pull away, it is easy to lose sight of the impact of that decision. Silence may seem like a temporary solution, but it is essential to remember that it can create a cycle of insecurities. Each day that passes without communication, he may feel more lost and question the relationship. This is not healthy for either side. You may think you are being careful by avoiding difficult conversations, but this choice can have unexpected consequences. What could be a moment of reflection becomes a source of anxiety for him. He may constantly wonder about what is happening, creating stories that are not true. This can lead to significant emotional exhaustion, affecting the relationship as a whole. It is essential that you evaluate what you really need at this moment. If your desire is to temporarily distance yourself, do so consciously, making it clear that it is not a rejection. Simple communication, like sending a message informing him that you need some time, can change the dynamics. This attitude not only demonstrates respect for the relationship, but also for his emotional health. Furthermore, it is important that you do not feel guilty for needing this space. Everyone has moments when they need to reassess. What matters is how you communicate this need. By taking responsibility for your silence and explaining your need, you minimize the possibility of misunderstandings. This shows that you are willing to work on the relationship, even if it means facing uncomfortable feelings. Building open communication is a fundamental step. Establishing a space where both of you can talk about your insecurities and expectations helps create an environment of trust. When communication flows, you can face problems together instead of allowing them to grow in silence. This approach strengthens the emotional connection and prevents one from feeling isolated. If you notice that he is withdrawing in response to your silence, this is a clear sign that communication needs to be re-established. It is an invitation for both of you to make an effort in expressing what you feel without fear of being judged. This dialogue does not need to be long or complex. Sometimes an honest 5-minute conversation can change both of your perspectives. Remember that vulnerability is an important part of any relationship. By opening up about your own insecurities, you encourage the other person to do the same. This exchange creates a space where love and understanding can thrive. If you truly care about each other, honesty should be a priority. Ultimately, when making decisions about communication, always consider what is best for both of you. Silence may have its place, but it should not be the norm. Clarity brings relief, and the willingness to engage in dialogue is a sign of emotional maturity. If you want a healthy future for the relationship, commit to communication and vulnerability. This is the key to a stronger and more meaningful bond. Before you leave, do two things now. Take a deep breath and hold on to what touched your heart today. And if it makes sense, share this story with someone who also needs to hear it.